you through towards this special segment.
It's always Juba Echo to get your latest update on social media.
It is the Echo Vibes live on Juba Echo. You know what it is, of course, it's Echo Vibes. I'm your host, Joe, aka the Julub One.
With Juba Echo Sports Blitz, we bring you stories from football.
A very good morning, welcome on board. Today is the 28th of June 2024, and yes, welcome. And yes, in this particular program, The Morning Echo will bring you insights of stories making headlines in and around the country and within the states particularly. And that is called the States Run-Up. We're taking a look at how Juba looks like this specific morning. That is a drive segment. And later on, we'll be joined by Abraham Deng, who will be giving us the latest from the world of sports, and also we shall be having the weather updates on what you need to know as far as the weather is concerned for morning, afternoon, and also tonight, how the temperatures will be like. And later on, of course, we'll be joined by a guest in the second hour of this program by Longonyo Echo, that is famously known as Longonyo. All South Sudanese know him as that, where he is a content creator, digital creator, an actor, comedian, and all a few, that he'll be sharing with us more on what the film industry can do in order to develop and monetize its content. All that and much more, of course, we shall be having in this particular program. In case of any strong view or comment, you can leave it in the comment section or just simply texting our WhatsApp studio number of all your questions. Now, straight away, we head towards taking a look at how Juba looks like this specific morning, a segment meant for people out there to get to see how other parts of this country looks like specifically this early morning. Good morning, stay tuned, we'll be back shortly. And of course, that is a drive segment areas from Muniki Airport roundabout, and also all that from the seventh day roundabout. That is basically all that is as far as the states, or actually as far as the run or the drive is concerned. You can see people already up going to their workplaces, people are going to school, all that. In case you're out there still sleeping, it's high time you rise up, get to go and do whatever you're supposed to meet on your daily activities for today. So that is the drive segment. Now straight away we head towards the weather. What is likely to be in the afternoon and also tonight? We take a look at the weather updates. And all right, of course, that is the weather update likely. And of course, you can get to see all these, today in the morning, there were some drizzles, there's some rains. And then later on, of course, in the afternoon, we expect all, and you need to be ready, prepared for each and every situation. Of course, that means that if it means you carrying your jacket, carrying an umbrella, moving on, not with heavy clothes or lighter clothes, all this, of course, will bring you all these insights right here in the Morning Echo program. And I am Rita Idwa. And now moving on to stories making headlines that is in and around the country. East African minister present budget to the East African Assembly, where the East African minister present budget to the East African Assembly. The Minister of East African Affairs, Deng Alor Wall, has presented the budget of the community to the East African Community Assembly with a total of over $112 billion. Deng Alor says the budget is fixed towards economic transformation. We have more.
I have the honor of informing you of the achievements of the previous budgets and the policy direction of the next financial year to be contained in my budget speech. I beg to move that this Assembly resolves into a House committee to debate and approve the proposals by the Council of Ministers for the budget of the East African Community for the financial year 2024-2025. The theme of this year's budget is sustainable economic transformation through physical consolidation and investment in climate change, mitigation and adaptation for improved livelihoods.
And all right, moving on to more stories making headlines, where the National Ministry of General Education to sue Central Equatorial State leased Central Equatorial State, I beg your pardon, Education Minister to court over leased school land. The acting undersecretary, who is also Director General for Basic and Secondary Schools, David Lowole Ladu, responds to the State Ministry of Education, Central Equatorial State denial of a sell school land in Central Equatorial State. He stated that the reality is some government school lands are sold and others are made business centers with documents indicating sold of school lands. And as a member of the investigation committee, they find the named schools Juba Commercial School, Merikia School, Juba 1 Girls and Boys, and Maud School, John Garang School sold.
Denial of sale or lease of school lands in Central Equatorial State by State Minister of General Education and Instruction. The State Minister of Education in Central Equatorial State stated in his press statement dated 21 June 2024 that there was no any school land sold or leased to business person, private companies or individuals. He claimed that the committee formed by the gubernatorial order investigated and found out that there was no any land sold or leased out by the State Ministry of Education, Central Equatorial State. The reality is that some government schools' lands are sold or leased to some business person, private companies, and individuals. There are documents that indicate that some schools' lands have been sold or leased. However, a state committee formed by gubernatorial order number 2023, date 17 August 2023, to assess all school lands belonging to State Ministry of Education, and came out with the following findings. I'm one of the committee deputy chair of this committee. Schools that we have gone to: Juba Commercial Secondary School, Melekia Primary School, Juba 1 Boys, Juba 1 Girls Primary Schools, and then Supiri Mahat Primary School, Melekia High Malaka Primary School, Bumbo Basic Primary School, Mayo Primary School, Dr. John Geren Girls Secondary School, Juba Day Secondary School, and the Salam Primary School.
And of course, that is the Director General of Basic and Secondary School, David Lowole, addressing the media. Now, moving on to more stories making headlines. Civil society reviews 16 sustainable development goals in Juba. Civil society organizations review the 16 sustainable development goal as part of the voluntary national review. The Sustainable Development Goals 16 global goals was adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015 as a universal call to attention to end poverty, protect the planet, I beg your pardon, and ensure prosperity for all.
A one-day validation workshop on the civil society organizations' perspectives regarding the implementation of Sustainable Development Goal 16 that was launched 2 months ago, aiming in building peace, justice, and strong institutions worldwide as part of the voluntary national review. This workshop was providing insights on the progress, challenges, and opportunities achieved in Sustainable Development Goals by the various stakeholders as they share their experiences and recommendations. Speaking during the workshop, the Executive Director of Vision for Generation in South Sudan, Taban A. Christopher, says having done a survey, different feedback was given from different citizens of the country in regards to the sustainable development. He added that the civil society, together with the government, will provide solutions for the challenges that are affecting. Adding on, he says the several venues like the media will be used to disseminate information through talk shows and many more ways to the public.
We said, I think this was not going to be enough for us. We had to develop a survey. We developed the tools, and I think it got circulated in several platforms. And we're grateful that the findings from the survey has portrayed and shown to us exactly the feelings and the perceptions of the citizens of the Republic of South Sudan, particularly in regards to the implementations of the Sustainable Development Goal 16. Peace, justice, and strong institutions. And today we are doing this validation. to have our inputs or to get to let us know what we have done. And the next step from here is that we will, together with government representatives, ensure that we cascade, we disseminate these informations. Honorable members of this forum, we are going to use several avenues for the disseminations, one of which is going to be radio talk show. Oxfam has pledged to organize and to support financing the radio talk show cost. And we have agreed as a team that we will, when we have, for example, Masalan will be on radio talks in Mira FM, we will have at least 1 or 2 government representatives, particularly those who are focal persons in the areas of sustainable development goal. And then with the 2 civil society. And of course, we will.
Meanwhile, the representative from Oxfam, Mr. Kamba Anthony, says this workshop is important since one of the topics is on peace building. He says this is very important since more than 600,000 people were reported to be refugees, returnees, and asylum seekers who need peace to settle in the country. He also says women are big in number since most of them were and still face violence. Kamba urges for the involvement of women in peace and security as well as
women. Peace and security is very important to us as Oxfam because we know as a country there's a lot that is happening. You all know very well right now that we are hosting over 600,000 returnees and refugees from the Sudan crisis. And these 600,000 people, mostly women and children, continue to suffer violations, including gender-based violence. And you start to question yourself, why is it that there are more women than the men who are getting displaced? Obviously, that is the impact of the war. And so we feel that the involvement of women in peace and security is just the key steps to ensuring that we have a stable country, a stable economy, and a stable society that we always live in. So Oxfam currently works in a lot of communities, especially in Lake State and Jonglei, on issues of peace building, where we ensure that the peace processes are inclusive of the different voices, especially women's voices. Because if, for instance, we don't have peace in our communities, we are unlikely to be able to have the energy to engage in productive services, including agriculture, production of food, which we now currently really import from our neighboring countries. And we also feel that if there's no peace, and especially peace for women, our economies cannot be built, as we all know that at least as many, more women actually engaged in like economic activities that support families. So, ladies and gentlemen, you would
in peace and security as he calls upon women to keep engaging themselves in productive services like agriculture. For Juba Eco TV, I'm Fatuma Sebit.
All right, many thanks, Fatuma Sebit. And now moving on to more stories making headlines where land-grabbing dialogue between citizens and government began in Juba. A 2 days land-grabbing dialogue in Juba kicked off on Thursday under the theme Active Action to Reduce Land Tension in Juba. The land dialogue spearheaded by the Ministry of Peace Building in Central Equatorial State ensures to find a solution to the ongoing land tensions in Juba. We'll take a look.
In the recent past, land grabbing has become a big issue in Juba and Central Equatoria. With support from Whitaker, the Ministry of Peace Building in Central Equatoria is holding a 2 days land dialogue. The dialogue is meant to deliberate and find solutions to the ongoing land grabbing within Juba and Central Equatoria. The Minister of Peace Building in Central Equatoria State says the dialogue has come at the right time when the state is faced with land grabbing issues. Honorable Gerald says the increase in population in Juba is to blame for the rampant land grabbing in the state. Honorable Gerald says an amicable solution should be found to end the land grabbing in the state.
The grabbing has come rampant as a result of population explosion. The population of Juba has gone very high, and this has forced too many to look for places of settlement. But the problem that many always does not want to follow the legal way of acquiring land, and they take laws into their hands and then start demarcating, and this has resulted to clashes with the local populations. So as the Ministry of Peace Building, that's why we say the best is to look really into this problem critically and try to find ways of how to address it together, because it is a collective responsibility, not that of the government alone or the chiefs alone, the communities alone, but it is a collective responsibility. That's why we are here looking for solutions about this.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Parliamentary and Legal Affairs for Central Equatoria State, Taban Emmanuel, says the government will come up with a land registration system to reduce land-related issues in Juba. He says the land in Juba County is enough for South Sudanese, but will not be enough for them because of the greediness people carry.
Kahakuma adua toko ya beta huko malganuna rashida lazim neji land management systems alkaman bakte uri munu ya istahik munu ma istahik badan nazu jabe land registry system al watade kullu mahala al khatitude kullu bidakalu fi computer wa ayazol la khudu aktar min 2 wala 3 ma inna huwa mushkila lakin al biyahsal shunu hatta gal wahid da bilodi ground rent and normal lakin amma taninde binodi taman tijari di taman tijari kita begini dafa kulu sena kanta eno atade bigama magiji bo hagu kulu sena ta dafa eta muhtar ita tafikule zoltan alderwata.
On his part, a Juba County prominent chief had the following to say on the land grabbing issues.
ده بقى وضع يعني ده استمرار يوميا ده يعني بقى جزء من الحياة يعني لو مثلا نفرين 3 ما حاجة ده بيجيف لكن ده قبيلة بحاله قبائل بحاله بيعمل وقتها معناها في عدم الأمن هنا زي ما أنا ذكرت إنه هنا في الوادي العام قبيلة في عندنا أمن وبلد ماشي كويس واستقرار لكن هسه ما أمن عدم الأمن تاني جات لأنه وقتها ده جابوا الناس ده كله وجابوا القبائل وجابوا الكراهية ده كله يعمل وقتها ولو يعمل وقتها نفرين 3 ما ده بيشوفوا مجرمين بنحلها لكن ده دول ده قبائل دي لازم الحكومة تخش فيه يحل المشكلة ده أصل موجودين ده كله سوري ده كله 30 كل.
Reporting for Juba Echo TV, I am Kelly Abale.
And as many thanks, Kelly Abale, and moving into more particular stories making headlines, the youth urge to shine tribalism in the country as a way of unifying the country. Daniel Teng Jongole Institute for Peace says that citizens marry from different tribes will ensure that unity among the people will become imminent. They also urge the government to start programs that will act as a unifying factor for the youth instead of using divisive ways to divide them.
We have to unite our voices as youth. We have to see ourselves as one person because God has created us in His own image, and we really need our youth to spearhead togetherness as a subject and as the only way we can unite ourselves. I am from Bor. Should I marry from Barakazal? Should I marry from Yambio? Yes, we have to intermarry ourselves so that we adapt all our cultures so that we live together and respect ourselves as South Sudanese. Especially we young people, without uniting our voice, we can port our liberty.
As youth of South Sudan, we need a sustainable peace that could really reach to the remote areas. We also need to encourage the intermarriages within the country, where you should not fail to marry someone in a part of South Sudan because of this, communal violence and the tribal conflict. We need to make sure that whenever one of us pick an interest, we had to respond. It could not fail just because of the communal violence and the tribal conflict. So intermarriage will really be a pillar of a peacemaking in South Sudan.
Coming together as youth with disability, as women, as citizens of South Sudan will be of greater opportunity for us to air our views in this constitution-making process, because we are looking at the unity of the youth and the citizens of South Sudan. So when we are united, we are powerful, and then we can obtain many things.
And all right, many things right there. It's through only intermarriages that the youth or all the citizens of this country will shun tribalism right in the country, right? And now we head to a short break, and when I return, particularly we'll be joined by Abraham Tek, who will be giving us the latest from the world of sports. Good morning, stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Sheila Opone. I'm a reporter for City Review newspaper. Today I'm here to tell you why you should read the City Review newspaper. We cover different kinds of articles all over the country, starting from politics, education, agriculture and business, environment, and we do have sports for you. And for those who like entertainments, we cover skits and comedies. We have music for you, we have modeling and all kinds of entertainment that you would love. For those who like reading opinions, this is the place for you to find all kinds of opinions from the top writers in South Sudan. And for those who want to write, you are welcome. Write your opinions and we will publish them for you. And how about those who want jobs and tenants? We got your back. Welcome to City Review, our home, our truth.
This is Juba Echo TV. Information for empowerment. This is the Morning Echo.
All right, and now straight away we head towards what we call the sports run-up. Of course, Abraham Deng is on standby to give us all the latest, both local and international, as far as the sports is concerned. Good morning, Abraham Deng.
Good morning, Rita. Perhaps a very, very bright morning for South Sudanese footballers and club administrators, as the South Sudan Football Association have announced a very big one on paper. It looks, I do not know about the plans to execute it, but I can confirm the South Sudan Football Association is set to launch the first ever South Sudan Premier League. Is confirmed by of course, the association on their social media platforms. Apparently, President Agustin Amador Parek and all the board members had a little bit of a get-together and a briefing, and it's during that briefing that it was confirmed that the SSFA will kick off South Sudan Premier League. Now, the league's technical committee briefed the president on the ongoing preparations for the competition. President Madud Parek expressed commitment to success of the first ever Premier League, going on to urge companies operating within the country to join hands in ensuring the historic kickoff of this tournament is a success. I would say on paper, looks really, really huge, but what remains to be seen is how this will actually be executed. Now, talking local transfers, Bentiu City women team have confirmed the signing of two players from a WOW female team, that is Freedom Girls FC. Those two players include Abuk Akol Maker and Angelina Daniel Gabriel. The two players signed as free agents. And we move to Torit as Volcano FC have secured the signing of 22-year-old winger Nabil Faris Sebit from Dumak FC and centre back Charles Cesar Philip, 24, from Torit United. Now, both players signed on a 4-year deal. That is one thing I can confirm to you this very particular morning. Coming back to Juba in the current ongoing Barakazal Counties League, there was a game between Akoch and Wunrok yesterday in the semi-finals. And of course, the final showpiece has been set as Akoch will take on Turale in the finals after they successfully beat Wunrok by 2-1 in the semi-finals. In the Barakazal Counties League, Will West beat Gorial West by 2-1 yesterday, and one side of Awil, that is Awil Center, lost to Tweed County by 4-2. Locally, those are the stories making rounds this very particular morning. Now, quickly going on to the international scene. In the Copa America, there were a couple of games played this very particular morning. Uruguay thumped Bolivia by 5-0, and Panama, of course, surprised USA to a 2-1 victory. Those are the games played in the Copa America. Now, wrapping up our sports updates for this very particular morning, a big one in the NBA as day 2 of the draft came to a wrap this very particular morning, and Bronny James is officially joining his father LeBron James at the LA Lakers for the 2024-2025 season. Now, years of speculations have finally ended with the Bronny James, the elder son of NBA 4-time champion and Lakers star LeBron James, indeed has a home in the NBA on his father's team. This could actually be the very first time a father and a son could share the same floor on the same team in the NBA history. You need to also know that questions have been raised on whether Bronny could professional basketball, as he had suffered a cardiac arrest last year. But of course, all that has been laid to bed as he has been picked as the 55th overall draft for the LA Lakers for the 2024-2025 draft. That right there is a wrap on our sports for this particular morning, Rita. Back to you in the studio.
All right, Darisco, just a quick one. When it comes to sports or community games, is that there's always a massive turn-up. And of course, you hear there are times where people get too personal in one way or the other, physical. But when you are to look, it's evident that the number keeps on becoming so intense, the field gets full and all of you. What will it mean if it is, we look at what happened last time in the basketball stadium is that, in the Lebanon basketball stadium, even if the games were not here in South Sudan, but people turned up to watch all these particular games. What does it mean for South Sudan in case, let me say, for example, already the football or sports itself, when it comes to football, it is still on the trenches, somewhere just near there. What will it mean? Because we are seeing that already community-based football or sports games, it's picking up, turning with massive numbers of people attending with spectators.
I think that has to do with a sense of belonging. You know, Juba being a metropolitan area means people are going to be so busy. People are going to go to work. People are going to be taking care of, family at home. And you think that right there will limit people from going out to watch these, regular games every day. But when it comes to community football, people sacrifice certain things. And just like I said, it brings in a sense of belonging. And that's why you think, these community games have been flooded. There have been huge turnout and all that. Now, touching a particular point you mentioned, people taking things a little bit personal. I think that is human nature. Nobody likes to lose. And you think the way certain people express excitement or how they go about celebrating that victory agitates other people. And if you're not one person with a complete sportsmanship character, you might be, pushed about, and your emotions might just get the better of you. But it all down to, sportsmanship. I think there should be serious sensitization, beginning with the players. The players should be able to understand that a game of football comes with 3 outcomes: a win, a draw, and a loss, and all should be accepted in good faith. And once that is done, club administrators should be, trained as well, and then that can as well proceed to the fans right there. As soon as that is done, I believe we should be able to have better games. But for now, I am impressed. The Munyamiji tournament has really, really been great. I've seen crazy turnouts. I've not had or seen any reports of violence yet. The Barra Ghazal League, I think, has been a little bit calm this edition. I think the only community tournament that has had conflict this particular year, I think, is the North Peace tournament, where Wurur fans were beaten by fans of Rupkona. That is allegedly, basically, that is just that. But I think overall, there's been a little bit of an improvement when it comes to violence in community games.
All right, many thanks. The disco right there always bring us to speed on what is happening in the world of sports. Catch him later on at around 2 for the latest. All these with, of course, Emma DJ and Isaac Denise and Kelly Abale, right there giving you the latest from the world of sports. Now, particularly, we're going for a short break, and when I return, we're looking at stories making headlines. Well, confusion mass, a quest for inter-party dialogue, and also Gatwai calls for clarity on the electoral preparedness, and much more on eyes more on the on guarantees or as a dilemma engulfs political parties dialogue, and also be looking at much more on the Argemic Hills peace deal milestones, but urge for completion of the pending tasks. All this and much we'll be looking at after this short particular break. Good morning, stay tuned back shortly.
Kalamata internet ketir mashakilato ketir lakini taya bihafis kisim kalamata internet ketir mashakilato ketir lakini taya bihafis kisim
Shala kan fi Facebook or WhatsApp Shala fi Insta wala Twitter Kede ita wodi fast what go Kaninde ukara wusu mataki Mata asumale umontani Monde ukara wu future taki
Yakuta izol kandaru paswataki
Urilo mongali la la la
Galifata link alita mabiaru
Urilo mongali la la la
Galira sulusura ugisim takibara
Urilo mongali la la la
Shala kangalita biligo guru
Uorilo mongali la la la.
Ishala kangal keta sitim sabitaki.
Uorilo mongali la la la.
Ishala kangal keta rasul gurush lomon.
Uorilo mongali la la la.
Ishala kangalu mashilu akauntaki.
Tuwale worile septiko.
Umonkanjale tambe fina tomonde.
Tuwale worile septiko.
Hello everyone, hello beautiful people. It's your boy Rabuna Boy. You know I've been off for so long because my account got hacked, but now I get it back. Be careful with who you give your password. Don't press any link that you don't know. Yeah man, salute.
Journalists from 12 countries arrived in China for the seminar of the senior management personnel of mainstream media of Belt and Road countries on the 9th of May 2024. We have learned that Chinese people say a real man must climb the Great Wall. We had to visit this famous place.
We are live here at the Great Wall of China. You can see behind there, that's the Great Wall. It has been in existence since 2,500 years ago. And you can see people from different parts of China coming together to actually climb the Great Wall. And we are going to climb the Great Wall as well. This is an amazing experience.
The classes were not disappointing, either looking at the short video production, media development in China, and visits to various media houses. It was also time for looking at some of the development from the airport to the streets and the beautiful culture of the Chinese people.
So we're heading now to the Summer Palace. It's on the western part of Beijing. You can see behind me there's so many people that have joined me and the rest of the team. So we're heading into the Summer Palace. It's going to be an interesting experience.
Summer Palace is a beautiful imperial garden. So it's built in Qing Dynasty. So we were here for beautiful scenery and the background history. Now of Qing Dynasty, all the famous powerful woman, Dragon Lady.
The team then headed to Fuzhou. In the beautiful southeastern city, we visited newspapers, TV and radio stations, and a regulatory body. We have also seen poverty alleviation programs, an example of how the Chinese government has managed to transform the lives of millions of people from poverty to prosperity.
We are actually standing on the sea. So the Chinese have come with a technology where they build something on the sea, including the house. So the fishermen and fisherwomen here stay here. These are all on the sea, and they're also doing fish farming. Part of the sea is taken where they build a kind of a pond within the sea and keep fish. This is the fish that is normally harvested and consumed. This is to ensure the sustainability, so that you don't eat everything in the sea.
This is Ningde, Fujian province. Presidency wants to work here for 2 years, from 1988 to 89. At that time, we were very poor. I used to say that the average income at that time was 200 or 300 yuan. But nowadays, of course, much prosperous, richer, even 30 times or 40 times over that. President Xi saw the situation. He just gathered scientists to make research to do this kind of sea farming. Over just 30 or 40,000 people involving in this industry, and the annual value of it just over 10 billion yuan. In Ningde, it's a very big business.
I like
giant frogs. It is too delicious, spicy. It is easy to eat.
My name is Grum. I came from Ethiopia. I'm the editor-in-chief of Capital Newspaper. What I like about China or the Chinese people is that they are very humble and they try to help in every way they can.
From the green China to the nice dishes, we leave China with a lasting memory of friendly people moving forward with humility.
你好，你好吗？
你好，
你好，你好，你好，你好，你好。
I'm Rita Ilwa and I'll be taking you through towards this special segment.
It's always Juba Echo to get your latest update on social media.
It is the Echo Vibes live on Juba Echo. You know what it is, of course, it's Echo Vibes. I'm your host, Joe, aka the Julub Wang.
With Juba Echo Sports Blitz, we bring you stories from football.
This is the Morning Echo.
And it's a very good morning. Welcome back. And now moving on to stories making headlines in the City Review. Our home, our truth. Most especially fine stories running there on the front page. Confusion, mass quest for inter-party dialogues. Where again on politics, where South Sudan is to hold general elections in December 2024 as per the roadmap. And we'll be getting more on the particular stories where Gitwai calls for clarity on the 2024 poll preps and where the interim chairperson of the ADGEMIC calls on the parties to revitalize peace agreement to come out clearly with a pathway for holding the elections as scheduled for 2024. You get that story particularly in page 2 of the paper, and much more stories making headlines you get there, where government faces more pressure over fate of national budget. Eyes on, of course, you get all that and much more regarding all these particular stories right there. And faith-based leaders urge South Sudan to utilize the Tumaini initiative. And of course, you get where Argemic hails peace deal milestones, but urge for completion of the pending tasks. Whether you get all those particular stories. And 14 million children seek humanitarian assistance in Sudan, says UNICEF. The United Nations Children Fund say it announced an urgent need for humanitarian aid for an estimated 14 million children in South Sudan, in a statement seen by the paper. Right, and media stuck in ethical dilemma due to funding challenges, says Oyet, the president of the Union of Journalists of South Sudan. Oyet Patrick Charles lamented the lagging ethical dilemma of media due to conflict of interest arising from funding models. And you get much more there. And UNMISS flags worsening humanitarian economic conditions in South Sudan. And that and much more, of course, and government releases first installment of the pending tasks. And in UNHCR reports, Egypt hosts over 600,000 refugees and asylum seekers. And youth are at a risk of diseases due to insufficient physical activity. There's more on the reports. And your week could be poisoning you. Study finds pesticides, other toxic chemicals in this hair, systematic hair. You get synthetic hair. You get all that and much more in the special report. And in the editorial, can we be a candid conversation on, can we have a candid conversation on ending the land grabbing? Okay, all that particular, all there you get to know all those particular details. And also you get the cartoon of the day by Solongo. and much more in the opinion you get there in Kenya. Tomorrow is here, and believe in God will shepherd. And also within the states, you will get stories where Yambio County residents celebrate a new water yards. You'll get all that, and 3 cattle headers killed in Kaboite North County, and Juba Commissioner vows to demolish illegal structures in Malaboro, Boma. And in the business scene, international community urges South Sudan to prepare a budget, address economic issues, and you'll get the daily exchange rate for today. And elsewhere in the world, where Kenya police face off against protesters amid brutal tax climb down, and families flee as Sudan's rapid support forces advances on Sanaa city. Residents say those are the stories and much more well known. So you get much more in the world of sports, where England not an easy side of a draw. Those are the latest you get there. And Messi is scoreless in the Copa. You get all that in the Copa America. You get all that and much more stories making headlines in the City Review newspaper. Remember, you can also follow our website. We are www.JubaEcho. Visit our website at www.JubaEcho.com and follow us on all social media platforms. We are right there. We are Juba Echo TV, information for empowerment. To get all this latest information making headlines in and around the country. The same information is indeed power, and information is what makes us strive as people by the end of the day. Now, straight away we head towards a break, and when I return, we're looking to continue with this episode of the Morning Echo program. Stay tuned, we'll be back shortly.
Kalamata internet ketir mashakilato ketir lakini taya bihafis kisim kalamata internet ketir mashakilato ketir lakini taya bihafis kisim
Shala kan fi Facebook or WhatsApp Shala fi Insta wala Twitter Kede ita wodi password go Kaninde ukara wusu mataki Mata asumale umontani Monde ukara wu future taki
Yakuta izol kanderu password taki
Urilo mongali la la la
Galifata link galita mabiaru
Urilo mongali la la la
Galira sulusura ugisim takibara
Urilo mongali la la la
Ishala kangalita bili goguru
Urilo mongali la la la
Ishala kangal keta sitim sabitaki
Urilo mongali la la la
Ishala kangal keta rasul gurush lomon
Urilo mongali la la la
Ishala kangalu manshilu accountaki
Tuwale warile septiko
Umankanjale tambe fina tomonde
Tuwale warile septiko
Hello everyone, hello beautiful people, it's your boy Rabuna Boy. You know I've been off for so long because my account got hacked, but now I get it back. Be careful with who you give your first word. Don't press any link that you don't know. Yeah man, salute.
The rolling Yangtze River and majestic mountain Tai have nurtured a kind of a friendly Chinese, while Southern Nile River and Grand Mountain King Eddie have nourished the resilient South Sudanese. Peace-loving Chinese with a sincere work with the South Sudanese brothers and sisters to build a new nation and create a happy and well-being life. To deepen the friendship between the peoples of China and South Sudan, the Chinese government funded the construction of a Clement Emerald Bridge project in South Sudan. The total length of the project is about 1.72 kilometers, with the bridge 244 meters in length and 14 meters in width. The project commenced in January 2021 and was completed in September 2023. This project is an important component of the facility connectivity of the 8 major actions of China-Africa cooperation. as well as an initiative of jointly building the Belt and the Road and a practice of building community with a shared future for mankind. This bridge is an essential link between Wau City and the eastern regions, serving as the only corridor in southern part of western Bahr el Ghazal state for humanitarian aid, daily necessity and local trade and transportation. It will play an important role in regional economic development after completion. When this project started, an outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic had brought extraordinary impact to our daily work and life. However, with the strong support from various levels of ministries and relevant personnel in both countries, all team members worked without fear, embodying the spirit of being able to endure hardship and fight exceptionally. They attended and won the White War. By deliver on schedule, peoples in both countries prove that brothers of the same mind can cut out the gold. At first, they accomplished various procedures and set up the camp as soon as possible. Then with full preparation, the main body casting of the bridge having been completed by June 2022 before the rainy season. Bitumen layer construction had been finished by August 2023, and ancillary works of a road and bridge have been finished by September 2023. Until then, all tasks were completed. During the implementation of the project, a large quantity of local materials were utilized. Local works were employed and the local equipment were rented. Moreover, efforts were made to train local works to acquire advanced construction techniques and experience, thereby great contributions to local economic development, empowering employment, and fostering talent cultivation were made. During the construction period, the Ministry of Commerce of the Republic of China, Chinese Embassy in South Sudan, and South Sudan government showed great concerns to this project, closely monitored and inspected the project multiple times. While conducting the construction works, the project department fulfilled the social responsibilities actively and participated in local community welfare activities. In May 2021, Jianyuanberg Love Food Donation Ceremony was hosted by the project department in Wau City. 20 tons corn flour were donated to local impoverished residents. In September 2021, under the guidance of Chinese 9th Peacekeeping Police Company to South Sudan, the project department undertook and finished the renovation task of Dongxing Police Station. 2 years of construction have deepened the brotherly feelings between the Chinese and the South Sudanese. At the same time, they have also learned each other's languages and cultures, realizing the importance of seeking common ground while resolving differences and strengthening cooperation in the vast world. The true friends are regardless of the long distance. The Chinese government will continue to inherit the China-Africa friendship, actively implement the Belt and Road Initiative, and contribute to greater efforts building a community with a shared future between China and Africa.
All right, a very good morning. Welcome aboard. And of course, this is the one we shall be having shortly. Of course, a guest will be joining us live in the studios. That is more. We're going to talk on how the best can the South Sudan film industry develop and monetization, basically all right there in this particular program. And of course, Logonyo Eko will be joining us, an actor, a digital creator, cinematography and all these particular, of course, he carries it a big weight. Is that we always see him in films and all what a few these small short films and even films that are of course very impactful in our lives. They say there's more through the lens than just something that we do not know. It's just that there are a lot when it comes to the society that we need to sensitize and to the society that we need to create more awareness about on various information that we have to make that it can be very impactful and develop. There is more through films, there is more through just a camera or just a skit. All that, of course, we'll be sharing all his journey right here in this particular one-on-one discussion we shall be having with him just in a few right here in the Morning Echo. And of course, I'm Rita Ilwa as we be diving into this conversation and much more. In case of any strong view or comment, you can leave it in the comment section or just simply texting our WhatsApp studio number. Hello, I bet it's this evening right there in California. I hope you're okay, Lonyo.
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, though?
All right.
Can you hear me very clear?
People know you as
Can you hear me?
Longonyo, the actor, Longonyo, the comedian. People call you even that and much more, of course, that will be. Let's talk about just the film industry. How, when you came up to think of actually all this idea of creating something that is more visual to the people, to sensitize, or what came up? How did the idea come up, first of all?
Actually, you want me to talk in Arabic or you want me to mix it up, though? Which one do you prefer?
Let's go any.
عشان زول كده ما بعد جات جات كبار في محل يا زول. Okay, I could technically say that the film industry, basically, I could say that I inherited from my father. A lot of people think people who grew up in Juba, and Nasser Raba country, Juba Zaman, يعني they can relate it في يابا تاني كان جينا رجال زمان اسمه كينيتا ميكروفون ده يابا تا سينما ده أول سينما اللي كان بدو so في زمن الرئيس نميري كانوا ده كان زمان عربية ده جينا رجال عربية تا سينما it's a cinematic car so basically it's like a عربية كومر كده يلا بيمشي من from one state to the other state يعني هو شكل أفلام بتاع رؤساء زمان وكده so I think that was the footstep that I was just following the footstep of my father though. So betade bada min fi zaman dak yani nas kitir al kan raba fi Juba وكده بعرف يابا كينيتا ميكروفون تا cinema بس كان كلمو زي ناس كتير بعرف and a lot of people didn't know that was my father though. So in 1992 zaman dak أنا مشينا خرطوم لقوا زول بيجا صغير so I was pretty young though. So هو شغال في تلفزيون تندورمان. So في تلفزيون تندورمان هناك أو كان بيشيل أنا أو بمشي بشكل ليه أفلام بتاع سينما أو بشكل زمان داك ده it's an analog cinema. So بشكل ليه ناس أفلام بتاع ناس أبوتا زمان رؤساء زمان داك. But يعني أنا كان ما أعرف إنه he was injecting something in me. I didn't know that was going to be my path though. So till then يعني أنا عرفت فعلا إنه كان قاعد يشتغل بشكل ليه السينما ده and I was watching all of that until then زول بقى مرابا بقى في كنيسة زمان في كنيسة أنا بدأنا تمثيليات acting من كنيسة لقانينا سكر. By the way, I grew up in the church. So في كنيسة أنا بدأت acting وكده until I moved to Uganda. بدأنا مشيت I went to study بقى film and TV production. One of the first institutions for film and TV production for Uganda. the Ugandan film and TV production. So that's how my journey started. So when I finished there, the first institution Alana Bada Shtakal Tamao who SSBC, that's where the whole dreams, the whole things happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I can say briefly about myself.
Actually, how important is it for filmmakers to tell? Okay, as I'm still receiving feedback, is that something that I would want you to clarify or make it for us is that how is it important for filmmakers? Is it actually very important for filmmakers to tell their own stories, authentic stories that represent culture and also the society that we live at? Because be it from the way Abitagamul those short films is that it is, of course, Nas bonus be Arabi, Hadia bonus kulu be Fahim, representing the culture, Hadia bonus kulu be Fahim, which is, of course, creating awareness and everywhere. How is it important actually for filmmakers in South Sudan to tell authentic stories, to tell about their own stories and represent culture?
طبعا الفيلمmaking is very important. First of all, it tells it's identify your culture, your culture heritage though. People are known through their story. People's stories are known from the lanes of filmmaking, because in the film industry or filmmaking, there you tell different, it exposes different types of cultures and traditions. So number one, it identify who you as a person, as who you are, like it identify, masalan kan tagi misal za flambita, let me give you an example like a flambita Nigeria. I won't believe sometimes tradition. It's about it shows their culture. That's part of film. They just make it. So number one, it exposes your culture, your heritage. Identity bitak. It shows your identity as a person. Like it mean when it mean to dola al basamat. Like people will know you from the story that you tell. And then Tanian filmmaking Oindudor Kabir, it unites people together though. And who believes Nassau Mabat, it brings the society together, and it's a reflections of the society come on to themselves, So it has a lot of role. It unites people, it reflects the lifestyle of society and reflect also the lifestyle of a nation, So, yeah, that's what I can say briefly about it.
Yes, you have been, because I knew you, not personally, but through the films. That was when I was very young. And until now, that means there is a lot of experience that you have so far. So basically, how is the film industry? Just talk about the landscape back then until now. Is it changing? Is it improving? Or what do you think needs to be done?
Regarding the film industry, first of all, we need to admit, we are still a new nation. South Sudan, let me say, probably is 14 years old, So within this 14 years old, we went through challenges and a lot of, upside down. The country, we experienced a few years of stability. We'll feel a few years of stability there, and people were focusing on something different. So when we break from Sudan, a talent bit of Junubin Khan was buried actually. Leano, we were not given a platform. We were not actually given an opportunity to showcase our talent when we were in Sudan. Looking at the culture to Sudan, Taban Sudan, it can shift to Sudan. Arab, they were dominant people. حتى التلفزيون وزمن داك في التلفزيون وكده بتلقى انه كل traditions and culture to Arab was the one on a front, like everybody sees. When people see Sudan, they didn't know انه في جنوبين. لأن احنا we were not given that time, and that's best guiding, So when South Sudan separated and we become an independent nation, now the country itself, yani, taban al building of a nation is not easy. There's so many things, you know. And people, we were the country was actually was not focusing on the talent, yani fil mohiba wa kida. So basically, taban, one thing we lack on a side of the film or artistic institutions was كان الناس ما خطوا بالها في الاتجاه بتاع مواهب بتاع الفيلم وكده arts or entertainment industry. ناس كان كتير كان we were focusing on the building of the nations في ناحية بتاع you know شوارع وناحية بتاع establishing institutions مثلا احنا البلد بيحتاج لشنو عشان you know so it can grow. You know, لكن كان الواحد حاجة people forgot إنه the entertainment industry is one of the institutions will contribute to the nation building بطريقة يعني in a very wide way. You know what I'm saying? So the حاجة كان ناس ما focus فوق لأنه كان في البداية in our country we lack infrastructure. كويس? And then another thing maintenance infrastructure بتاع film industry Mafi, because nobody was known إنه في Mafi يعني أنا ما عندنا الناس اللي كانوا معروفين بالفيلم طبعا بلد طالع جري boom زري so ده كان تحدي يعني I didn't know that I was just even going to be a filmmaker أنا ذاته كان ما أعرف نفسي how I was going to be that. So when I started first at SBC اللي هو كان معروف بال SSTV, I started as a presenter, you know. So along the way, down to 2008, the whole idea خلاص, and then أنا بدأ بالفيلم بتاع هو break up and make up, you know. So when that movie came out, they are dope جنوبين جارف قال, oh my goodness, ترى في جنوب البحر بعمل فيلم. شفت أنا كان I was me and somebody called Martin MC. We were only two people who started this film industry in South Sudan. And then eventually begin خلاص ناس بدأ يعرفوا إنه oh now we have people who can tell our stories, you know. We have people big there to create like a movie or film like this that our story now can be seen, you know. So يعني الزمن داك ده الحاجة كان ما يعني كان الابيل capacity بتاعنا ما وايد شديد للدرجة داك, you know. كان because when you start a film, it's different from when you put it on work. Leano, يعني في Uganda هناك عملنا كتير بس most of the theory وانا عملنا يعني practical just few of it. لكن the more إنت كان عمل practical, when you do in a film like in a practical, like always on the field, that's when you know you will grow up. So التحدي بتاع film industry في South Sudan كان هو صعب the coming of a new nation. So it was يعني it was very tough. لأن أول حاجة ما عندنا زي ما أنا قلت ما عندنا infrastructure في place وما عندنا في حاجات كتير ما عندنا facilities يعني ما عندنا أول حاجة إحنا ما عندنا studios ما عندنا equipment حاجات ده كله كان ما في, you know. So ده تحديات لأنه ما عندنا ذاته, you know, the skill workforce is not there, you know. يعني احنا عندنا ناس professional كده who have gone ahead of us. So we started أنا بدأنا بس اتنين زي you know ما Martin. So that's the few things that I could say about it, you know.
What you see back then and till now, still you're following. I bet you're following the industry, the entertainment industry, how it's like, though you're in California. But also at the same time is that you are also exposed to different sort of filmmakers in, of course, abroad or any other place that is beyond South Sudan. Is that what do you see? Actually, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing as the film industry in South Sudan? Because basically, being with experience and of course always making sure that there is the جنوب بس باكر في جنوب however much in California انت بحاول على level best also كمان كنت تعرف حاجات اللي بيحصل لنا.
Yeah, basically the biggest challenges alana shufta al zamana gutta gibere inno one of the biggest challenges actually is anna we lack a skilled workforce, you know, anna yani we don't have, like, we have a shortage of skilled professional such as directors, producers, and then cinematography, and also يعني we lack مثلا training and educations in film and in a film, like يعني أنا ما عندنا أنا ما عندنا professional filmmakers, you know. ده التحدي الكبير اللي أنا لقوا زي ما أنا قلت أنا هنا we were the two people who طبعا Martin study كان في South Africa. يعني who studied in South Africa, one studied in Uganda. So we at that time actually we were the only two people مثلا نقول عندنا experience. وزمان ده Martin هو ماسك camera. So I was a director and I was the script writer, and I do a lot of things, directing, scripting, everything. Now imagine in a film industry, directing, writing, وكل الحاجات ده is not supposed to be one person. You know, it's a crew. Like in zaman back there, because there was nobody who started, nobody has been there. So what had did bigger يعني الهمولة, like the workload can be a heavy شديد college, because يعني to get trained nas I'll never study this. People there was nobody who have gone to school and studied this. So it's about get there based on the knowledge I'll acquire, you know, from the school. So they can, and I mean there are enough people, you know. That was kind tough for Zamanda. So as we continue producing, and about to recruit some people, you know. يعني في عيال كتير حتى عيال اللي بتلقى انه عيال اللي هسه currently قاموا movies وكده ده. يعني most of them, even actually I brought them up in the film industry. يعني most of them never went to school عشان كده مثلا بس قالوا زول study كده ما في. That was only based on the knowledge that I acquire, you know. So يعني انت بتشوف انه حتى ذاته في الستوري كونتنت كان شفت الستوريز بتاعنا، يعني انت بتعرف انه most of our stories lack professionalism, you know. يعني انت كان عين القصه والفيلم طريقه we do things. طب بيعرف انه language we use in a film production انه people are still amateurs. يعني ده ما حاجه لهم مثلا they've been skilled in it. يعني ما حاجه لهم study. عشان كده ده بقى كان تحدي كبير شديد خالص. And another challenge, we don't have writers. يعني الكتبان مثلا الناس اللي بيكتب سكريبت ما في. يعني انت بتلقى انه في الساوث السودان بس يا زول لما يلقى له كاميرا كده يا زول ارا بس اعمل كده تعمل كده، انا اعمل كده طب اعمل كده. That's it. No, it doesn't work like that. You know? So انت بتلقى انه يعني ناس lack knowledge في area دي. You know? So basically ده تحديات. يعني معظم من الناس القصة ده القاعدة هناك ده ما في زول كاتب قصة. في South Sudan I've never met a person who كاتب قصة كده. كلام ده بس جاي من راس اسمع يا فلان هاي انت بس اعمل كده مثل كده طب اعمل كده وانت كده يا زول بقى جاي جاسف. عشان كده انت بتلقى انه ذاته في الايديتنج بقى في تحدي. لانه في الايديتنج انت عارف في الفيلم اندستري في سكريبت المفروض هو سكريبت. Why do people write script? A script is a guideline. يعني line انه people have to say the same thing. Like كلمة مثلا الكلمة السطر تبي كاتب script and then there's a screenplay. Screenplay ده انت لما انت السنتنس الزول ده بيقولوا ده كان في close up ولا كان في general. He has to do the same thing. عشان لما الحاجة دي يمشي في الايديتنج الاديتور ما بيكون struggle. لكن انت بتلقى انه الاديتور بتاعنا جي struggle لان انت بتلقى انه زول ده في general كلم كلام تاني براو يلا في close up او كلم كلام تاني براو يلا في يلا so it's a real it's a big problem. The guy does gamble. You know, people are really gambling and struggle المسائل. So ده تحديات الجامد لكن كان عندنا مثلا enough يعني skill ناس very skillful وناس عندنا enough professional people بقدر سايده. لأن at the moment أنا واحد أنا ما بقدر أعمل أي حاجة. يعني أنا أنا ما بقدر أقسم بناس تاي كتير كده. It was not easy. It was tough, you know. So another thing كمان, you know, one من التحديات أنا اللي أنا بشوف إنه كمان جي فيس عنا هناك إنه لسه طبعا الانستتيوشن البسايت مثلا في ناحية إنت لو مثلا جاب كاميرا you want to shoot something يعني ما في freedom أول حاجة. إنما عندنا freedom, you know. Freedom of censorship and freedom تا filmmakers ما في. الأمون بقدر مثلا ما بكون في restriction. أنت بقدر shoot contents بتاعك وإنت you know يعني ناس بقدر يعني إنت يعني without any distraction. عندنا ما عندنا حاجة يعني ما it's not yet been established. يعني أنت ليلة بتلقى يالل كتير بتاعهم كان شيلوا مثلا أنت دير يعني بكاميرا كده making بمسوقوك. People would think that you're doing something best. Maybe of recently, they ما recently. زمان أنا طلعت من جنوب السودان actually I dope they establish something called you know media authority. Yeah, media authority ده كمان they issue permits. لكن في زمان when I was in South Sudan ما في حاجة تانية زي ده. كان it was very tough though. لكن بس عشان كان التعامل كويس طبعا أنا كان زول معروف. يعني أنا ما لقيت challenge بتتحدي مثلا أنا بروصور وزي ده بعمل أنا distraction وكده. لأن أنا كان زول معروف شديد خالص. كان في تعاون you know. لكن اصلا العيال اللي كان ورا هناك ده التحدي بتاعهم it was tough, you know. تمشي بكاميرا زي you know what's up you can't do it, you know. So ده تحديات تانيين اللي يعني جي فيس كمان اللي هو film industry في البلد هناك. وتاني شنو تانيين حتى لو إن عملنا أفلام ده ذاته كمان إننا تحدي بتاع distribution channels. عندنا channels مثلا اللي أنا بقدر we can market our films, you know. عشان احنا بنقدر نماركت فيلمز والفيلم ده بيقدر can find a place expression في society بتاعنا. احنا ما عندنا حاجات ده كله. ياو the only channels اللي هناك ده ممكن ياو probably في الزمن اللي انا هناك ده اللي هو كان بس SSTV و EBC زمن I was leaving the country. EBC زمن ده كانوا ذاته خلاص it was not operating though. يلا في تاني that's the only يعني you know. So احنا ما عندنا institutions like مثلا TV stations. ما عندنا مثلا companies that distributions. Yeah, it's a very tough أجري. It's a very tough شديد خالص. And ده تحديات اللي فعلا الناس قيل يقول at least ممكن probably كان في institution تانيين الفترة ما مثلا زي جوبا إيكو هسا كمان is helping a lot probably.
A brief one, sorry to cut you short, is that when it comes basically right now in the film industry, entertainment industry in South Sudan, there are, let me say, there are scenarios where there is copy and paste. Yes, copy and paste. Already someone watches a movie from Nigeria, has to bring that content, bring it back to South Sudan context, just the few things that they change. But basically you can just see it is the same thing being acted somewhere, and that person is just trying to lie to us. So right now when you spoke, when you literally said about the distribution channels, is that there are local content being promoted in the country right about now. Is that because now one of our very own Juba Echo TV, of course, does play all this content, your content and other local, you know, content being played in here in South Sudan. Is that also there are film industry like Juba Film Festival and what have you that promote local talent, where there is awardings, and of course there are various, even the Gatokor Film Festival was there last year. Before last year, it was there last year and before last year. They're always promoting local talent right now. For this case, what do you think needs to be done in order to develop this film industry? Because we still see that there are young children, or there are people out there, upcoming talents. South Sudanese, we have talent. If the modeling industry can do it, film industry can do it, we shall move. We shall be somewhere in the top of the map in the world. Is that what is the way forward? Because we have beautiful ladies that are always out there. And when you see in the whole world, is that they say South Sudan got beautiful ladies, South Sudan has this, South Sudan has that. So how best way can we make sure that we develop the film industry? Not only that, focusing on on content that is just brought from another country, having good script writers, good content, distributing it out there and make a living out of it, I mean money.
first of all, number one, for hydration to happen, we need to have infrastructure in the country. We need to have a system being developed for film industry. Number one is like a film commission. A film commissions is a sector in the government who to help up with the film industry, with the growth of the film industry. And now we don't have a film commission. That's a talent. Number one, the government need to establish a film commission. Film commissions provide opportunity platform, masalan, the upcoming filmmakers. Film commissions connect the local filmmakers with NGOs, internationals, like international film festivals, like opportunity. Actually, it connect the local filmmakers to international NGOs, masalan, Lenas Al, can help build the capacity of the film industry in the country. Masalan can fi film, masalan fi professional filmmakers in other countries. They would do partnership and try to bring them in the country to develop the skills of the local people, local filmmakers. This is number one. We need that. Is very important in the country. And then self-developmental, and actually like the filmmakers also need to can really, if they really want to make sure film industry go far. First of all, it's a passion in you. You want to tell your story in a very professional manner. So that requires, you have to be educated, come on. You have to go to school. If you really want to earn a living out of this, you got to go to school. To this day, I'm studying in the University of California here. Why? I'm still going for, because it's film industry has a depth. عشان تقدر تكون, انت بقدر تكون recognized, for you to stand out, for the world to recognize you, you need that. You need to go to school and study. You can't depend, mashallah, lemohiba bitak. Now you have a talent, you have a talent, but if this talent is not being sharpened with the knowledge from a school, you will not go far. There are bagabeji netija lendo tabitamshi to show film industry mas itabi showing a movie from Nigeria, and then you do like a copy paste. Asita kan lahas the gisa stajere. Ita kan lahas the gisa stanna tajere. Mostly give follow the foot the path of the Nigerian films. When Nigerian film women tabanin, they themselves they need help. They themselves need help. Yanita bitas magisa masalan al movie kelimu gale early marriage. Okay, if you're telling me a movie called Early Marriage from the theme Alta Warlanare, why should I watch your movie when you've already exposed the content of your story to me? There's no need for me to watch your film because you've already told me in the theme to film bitak, this is early marriage. Makalas anaro bitade early marriage. Why should I watch it? Time to say kalam zara. So it if you had gone to school and studied, you will not do this kind of mistakes. Because in a film industry, you have to make people live in a suspense. It allows them to put people in a suspense. Ashan, people will sit down there to follow your story. Okay, exactly. So it's like when you expose your story right from the theme, that's an issue. There's no need. Ita maltale film takelim fi team bitak early marriage. Tell me why would I watch this movie? Meta or Nicholas, this is early marriage. You see the challenge? So if that's why I go to education, I can't emphasize this enough on this. Like they have to be educated. So I need education if you want to go far. And then also, Finas Bugul making it a Bugul the Gurush to go to school and study. There's a lot of resources out there. Internet, another challenge shall come on beside. We need internet actually. We need internet in a country. Al Baghdad Sadunas Baghdad access you know, because you can learn a lot of things from YouTube, Google, and stuff like that. You can learn a lot of things from there. So basically, we need a strong internet. You need to, if you can back there, go access the internet, go. There's a lot of script out, the screenplay. Try to type screenplay, read, and at least you need to watch movies every week. Like every week, making you watch 3 or 4 films. When you watch these films, you don't watch it like bagana standing watch. Like watch, there out of how the screenplay was written, and then why did director des out bital movie or direct bital de beteriga de cave tracking bital camera cinematography al angles bital camera yan haja del cool into depth bital. So when you watch this movie, you're learning out of it at the same time. Like kan maga film, you don't read books, and you want to become a filmmaker, man. I don't know how is that gonna happen. I'm not sure about that. So it is a challenge. ده حاجات اللي احنا بنحتاج. ونحن بنحتاج انه كمان الفيلم كوميشن زي بيقدر بيساعد انه they can connect like the local filmmakers to have partnership عشان الناس بيقدر يلقوا equipment. And عندنا challenge. We need equipment. South Sudan we don't have equipment. يعني كاميرات اللي عندنا هناك ده كاميرات ديل تعبان شديد خالص. كاميرات ديل تعبان. However, we can still use it with lights and stuff like that. But we need equipment to strengthen, the work, the quality, the work of the film industry in South Sudan. We need equipment. And nas gimbals, nas kulu. We need it. Professional, at least, So NGOs, they should be a film commission. So look back connect nas ma NGOs, Masalan European Union, Batman embassies around. Some of the embassies, they can really help. Like in Nasma, pay attention for go. So the hajat al benahtaj la hajat del. Wanehna benahtaj kaman in the government should initiate something like grants. Yani we need support. We need funding. Like in can funding mafi kaman al bitade ma hayemshi. Ana badata benefsi, nobody supported me until I came to the United States. It was just by the grace of God. I never got support from nobody. So like in a passion field besalawat, God was able to help me until I reached America. Well, until I entered university and about study. So it's a struggle. It's a journey. So I'm really urging, government should provide some, at least get some fund, for support. Can Mavitiriga, if government cannot do that, best get a connect nationally some embassies wakida. Yani there should be connection. I'll be back there at least encourage the local talent as someone back there they can be able to tell their stories. Like in can funding mafi, hajat del kulu mafi, camera mafi, uitazata na mantakut camera bitakira bimshibi. Man, it makes things difficult. We know, come on, I know that with the economy instability, Oslo, Bukun Sap, Lakin, people need to improvise for that stuff, So that's what I can say.
Got to know as well as a good cinematographer, what unique perspectives do you think needs to be should be brought to South Sudanese storytelling through the visuals, the use of visual language, and what a few, because we have these few people, yes, let me say angel films, those are the ones that are trying right now to make films or to try to make these small skits. At the same time, we have comedians who are doing in one way or the other, they call it comedy, but they are doing small skits also in the name of comedy. So what unique perspectives do you think needs to be offered to South Sudanese through visuals or visual storytelling?
Okay, as a cinematography, first of all, for the visual representations, first of all, cultural authenticity, and then we can use cinematography to authentically depict like local cultures, customs and traditions, and the daily life. these are some of the techniques we can incorporate في حاجة في and then we have like طبعا don't forget South Sudan has a rich so ثانيا أن we have a natural landscape and we can be able to capture the diversity and the stunning landscape of the South Sudan from the savannah to the Nile River, the Kulu. These are the visual representations, we can be able to do through cinematography. And then we can also, symbolism is one of it too. We have symbolism. We can use symbolism and metaphor and utilize visual symbols and metaphor too. That resonates with the local audience, I'll be a local audience, incorporated like some elements that have like deep cultural significance, ده حاجات المهم شديد يعني في حاجات كتير we can use as a visual representation, and then we can use also lighting and natural lighting. Make use of the natural lighting to create a sense of realism and intimacy, capturing the essence of the South Sudanese environment. It's one of the thing too, So also we have a perspective employ like camera angles that reflect local viewpoints, and perspective. Perhaps using command wide angles to showcase, community life, close up to emphasize like personal stories as well, So dynamic movement is one of the factor too. We can use that, use camera movement and mirror the energy and the flow of the story, such as Masala Nasb use hand camera, like the way we've been using that a lot. Ligukan Zaman tripod mouth, hand camera, shots, tracking. Alta Bukut camera for dolly command is one of it. You put the camera on the dolly. So to follow the character's journeys, like Masalan, the character from point A to point B, Yeah, those are the few things I can say about it.
What advice would you give what advice would you give the aspiring filmmakers in the industry so that looking to break through and in one way or the other they want to make names for themselves?
Wallahi taban film industry is a passion. Guys, if you really know that you have passion for the film industry, number one thing would tell the upcoming filmmakers, you need to educate yourself in every way. You need to be very inquisitive. You need to train yourself in every way. Watch movies, Google some screenplay, watch some different techniques, and it can to boost up your skills. And if possible, you have some cash, go to school, study this thing. Keltam again is all amateur base, you just depends on your mohiba beta, So these are the things I can actually tell filmmakers, this is one of the important things, because for you to become more creative, you need that knowledge. You need that knowledge to expand, to expand your knowledge of production. Like in Mafi, it's going to be hard. It's really be going to hard. It's be one thing. If you do not add to your knowledge, so you need that. You need the educations. You need to whatever platform, whatever that you may use, very helpful to your, to your journey of filmmaking. You just need to, to look for it. That's the most important thing. That's what I can say.
do you think actually is when it comes to the good impact? Let's look at actually an impact. What impact do you think the film industry can have in mostly when it comes to the economic and the cultural landscape in South Sudan? Because particularly we look at the situations where culture, there are a lot of issues or a lot of challenges societies normally face. Let me say conflicts, culture, maybe say gender issues, the stereotypes, and what a few that is still, or GBV, and all these particular issues that are still being in a society here. It's a bigger challenge. Early marriages, you mentioned earlier on, and all of you. Is that what impact do you think a good film industry can do towards bringing on to these particular issues, or having a good impact on the economic and then at the same time the cultural landscape in South Sudan?
So basically, film industry, when you tell a story, it has a beginning and the end. And earlier I say it reflects the lifestyle of a society. You know, first of all, film industry bring enlightenment on the issues on the ground, like early marriages. Our Haja, you introduce the side effect of the early marriages. What does it do to masalang young people? They are supposed, not to get married actually at that age. Like because of the culture, probably because of the culture and traditions, they're forced to get married at the early age. By the way, that's a destruction of generation, because that's the work of the filmmaking. Now, if you address this issue through storytelling, when people watch, it creates transformation. The impact of the film industry is to bring enlightenment to the society, and then it brings transformation. Because people sometimes, when they don't see things, it's out of face of movies, man. It is because the story was so touching, making it one of the scene, was telling about you. For instance, give you an example. Making like zol yaba kebir umru 60 sana der jozu binia making 20 sana wala 18 sana. Look at this. Now when we tell this kind of story and the side effect of it, they can't tabaga magayro, they isn't Sara. Because this is 60 sana bija jozu binia 18 sana. Yakide in America, for America, oh Jesus, for America, Sanita Barao, differences that is a huge problem. Leave alone like 16 sana, Yanita Telga Inu. That's why Telga in America, diamond to biligo, Umur Tabana, Binia Mawalet Gigan is our diamond. The culture to Monin is it. Yani Kanita Masalan difference, take a 10, ita Umur Taketa Masalan, Yanizol making Umur to 13 sana. Yala different staki mabinia asara sena, they look at it as something weird. They had a weird, yani fikhof. Lianu al kalande was injected in them. It is not real. No difference. It's not supposed to be. Machas itaptal gainu marataban geraba guam getala use futurajel guam. Yanta will goes all listen sabit or kalas maragalago. So nature tanuswan terigal. The way they were created, umungeraba guam futurujal. Lakinta biligola na enacted the haja adi because mafia accountability. So when we tell that from the lens of a filmmaking, obukun into impact. Yani bibada gero mentality tanasal, yani this mindset of like zol kebir der silu binia saker. Ama ita warvita indak mara. Ita lisa der jibu no swanta tanin. Weta talga inu you don't take ita mabag der silu musuleta bagiyal tanin. Hata yalta tanin tazato magdar da kalumo fi madrasa. So such kind of stories, yani when we tell them through movies, into impact, jamit. Fi into impact. I give you misal talongonyo. Talongonyo lana ligota fogo ya zol. Ya jama. ita gima da fidegit ita gima da fide yani nas gano kalam da wiya yani kan fi rajil al kan gima da fidegit zato obike oh man shit this is crazy man you know bayano bitare bukoni to circle no that's not right yani haja tamarana bi mada foko ke you know yeah so stories into impact I'll give bring transform enlightenment zemana guta and then transformation fee mindset to society. So and then another thing also, it brings different cultures together. You know, it brings different culture together, and it also it showcases the identity. You know, your identity, different identity of cultures. You know, so into impact jamit. You know, and it helps people learn different cultures because it brings different cultures together, and then it make people to coexist. Yani, bisibu nas bi issue so bad for society. Liano in the film industry, mafi tefriga. You know, so it unites people. Yani, ogadel abdor kibir jamit. So it has a big impact, economical. Or indu dor kebir asita fi economical. Yani it ogi raise the economy of a nation. Now, if there is a campaign, Masalan can feel presidential election, why they come to California? Yani once if a candidate can win California, kalas. Because California, Hollywood barao. Guru's economy to California, but Hollywood to entertainment, the biggest entertainment industry, landnaini. The entertainment industry that control the planet. They're landnaini for Hollywood, you know? So basically, yani, ogi boost up the economy of the nation. Yani tabtalga inu hasa zay aflam algitala fi lajere when your movie goes to a big screen. Alabuta batalga inu budget to film industry hina al budget barao ta fi screen kubar tabtalga inu making zol spend like $50 million US. $50 million US. And at least Africa is almost fi level that Africans in general. So and then the income got making 700 1 billion. Look at movie like a Black Panther. In 2 weeks, Black Panther generate a hell of money in the history, in the planet. So look at this economy. Hasa Nigeria zaman itatalga umon. They don't support this. Lakin as we talk right now, yani fi budget min hakuma al-gitala le film industry in Nollywood. Can you see this? Because income betau massive. And then Nigerian film has gone globally. And it's can for America, a lot of people, even for Jamaica, a lot of people watch Nigeria because they can relate to the stories. Because it tells about our culture, tradition. Yani, it has dominated the entire Africa and some part of the world. It's just like someone matala professional, mawusul big screen because of the quality they have. Leano Nigerian kaman indu mushkila bita directors, screenwriters, indu mushkila bita kebir, you know. But otherwise, few of them has gone to Netflix. You see, so bitade economical, yani it helps country a lot. So it has a major impact on economy and major impact of transforming the society mentally, you know, mindset.
It's when someone get Elisuta said that, then you were like, Kezida said that, and then he was like, no, Kezidu they get, no. Kutina kere hawa fuko, obitala goe. I think that's always my favorite part now. Now coming into, let me continue.
Itaro, let me tell you something. That part, a lot of Jakelem Gale kere kutwa said that if hawa san kere hawa afuko. Back then, kan zaman fi zamanta majata South Sudan, Anabizekir. Zaman dak degit kan sap yala yume satay bijibu degit busit o busuta sidare yala sidare kan sutu zere. My mother would do that yala bukoto fi hawa yala hawa kanafu ko bitare asida degit ala gowi so kedan jekele na kuma ngale na kuma amul economic fi degit de sutu koto fi hawa san hawa bahabo bude kula yani koto fi hawa san bitala gowi. It is because that's an experience asasan, you know. I know what you kalam David. The haja I've seen it with my eyes. My mom did that. You know? That's why I just, you know, put it in a story. So if you zaman bita maja, when there is a crisis in the country, can baga mafi degit aleta kuminda kumsukerde, sudu ta kumbasira, hata eta zata kiarita, kede suta sida be degit besit kira, yala kede ora koto fi hawa. I'm telling you to be jakel kalanta. Besita kede sutu zere kafib zere mo koto fi hawa.
I did right, Slogonyo, is that because there was a time when it comes to these particular issues that you're mentioning, it's indeed true, because in terms of crisis, certain things it's applicable. Because I remember if someone kid and nas bakola sida actually should I say porridge, the weka. You get, so all these of course, it does happen, all these economic issues. Now, when moving on, in your opinion, what do you think are the key what are some of the key ingredients to a good success story when it comes to the film industry?
Some of the good ingredients. Okay. First of all, I wanted to say, when we talk about storytelling, first of all, we talk about a writer. The way you tell your story in a writing form matters a lot. And for you to write your story in a very effective way, that's where knowledge is needed. Knowledge is one of the most important ingredients. Will make your story stands out. But when you don't have a knowledge, when you don't have the educations, it will affect your story. So knowledge is required, because knowledge gives you guidance on how to write your story. Because there's the ethic of writing story. There's the ethics of writing screenplay. So when you miss these details, because these are the ingredients, when you miss these details and stuff like that, it affects your story. And that's why, like in Hollywood here, for your script to be sponsored, Ashante Telga funding, it has to be very clean. You have to clean it up. It has to be perfect. It has to be really perfect. You have to master the art of writing. If you don't have the arts of writing, the most important ingredients in a story writing. If you don't have, it's a big problem. This is one of the most important things. Once you have that, it helps your story stay, And then also, we need the advanced software, for writing a script, because it organizes your stuff. These are the most important things, like the software for writing the script. It has some people sometimes, the most professional I see that people use, I also use, is the Final Draft. That's the most important thing. You need to have this. This is one of the ingredients. This is one of the ingredients in the tool as well, to organize your story. And the Final Draft, and then also you need to also, what you need to do also, once you have the Final Draft and it organizes your stories, also you need to incorporate like some, let me say, some details, in every part of your segment. You need to incorporate some details, deeply descriptions of it. It matters a lot. And then equipment and all of that helps in your story to stand out. These are some of the things that I could say. But if you don't have equipment, also, it's another issue too. You need to have all the equipment, booms, gimbals. You need to have tracking dolly. These are the most important thing also that helps your stories to be so smooth and, to stand out.
Course, time is running out, and I hope you have to sleep. Is that when it comes to someone is asking a question on our Facebook page that is right there, and it's quite very important. That what plans do you have towards supporting the young talent? Do you have plans to support the young talent that is right here in South Sudan?
Thank you for that question. A lot of people ask me, and I can go also to the EML. I have this. A lot of people ask me a lot. The reason why I came to US to develop myself is because of the film industry back home. That's the reason why to this day I'm still in the school studying this thing. I have to, to develop myself maximally so I can be able to help people back. I can be able to establish the film industry in a very effective way, So some of the plan that it's in a place, first of all, to collaborate with the international filmmakers here in Hollywood, and also find some few resources that can build the capacity of the filmmakers back home. So these things I have to network with a lot of people down here, and I have to find some few folks that will be able, to travel down there and build the capacity of the filmmakers too, So this is all in the plans though, So these are the things I'm looking forward. First of all, looking for like expertise, and on a script writing expertise. Want to collaborate with the expertise on script writing and the side of cinematography and marketing as well. This is one of the most important things. We need the marketing so that at least, ajata majani de kelenta. We need to end this kind of things. Nasdera and aflam majani de. The hajat al get setting us back. So I think we need to establish that kind of things, marketing, and then to find like companies to collaborate with some companies. I'll back there one we produce film. The film them are back here within South Sudan, but it can go across the borders of South Sudan. So we need to encourage people. We need people to know that Arabic Juba is very powerful, because even for Netflix, tabtalga inu finance bukutu film be Chinese wukida, it has some subtitle. Aflam de kaman go in and what? So why? I think that we need to encourage that. I'm looking into that also sector too, like to make sure we our film produced in a very professional manner, even though be Arabic Juba, and then it has subtitle, can be submitted to film festivals, and can be submitted to big screen. That's the plan on the ground.
Okay, there is someone who asked a question that is on Facebook. That is Sukuyo Jackson Gatakor is saying, after gaining the knowledge from Hollywood, what will be his plans to the South Sudanese? What will be your plans for the South Sudanese after getting all that knowledge from Hollywood?
Jamade kelen tezer kalana kala zawel ke. Jamade kelen tezer kalana kala so. Yeah. Zemana Guta, after getting this, the knowledge from the Hollywood, of course, going back. So basically, one of the major plans, I'm not going to tell all the plans, but one of the major plans, establish an office in America that will coordinate a few of the trainings between South Sudan and Hollywood down here. So these are one of the major things. Establishing an office that will facilitate that. And then another thing, if all goes well, planning for institution. And we are planning for institutions for acting. Institution for acting. Kan kulu haja, if funds could allow that, we need to build an institution for acting and film production fee in the country. That's one of the plan. And we're not gonna actually produce films no films locally. We actually we're going to collaborate with all East Africa and then produce a very strong like movie, like for instance, like a Black Panther. It's it's a different filmmakers that come together. Yantab South Africa Fogo and Agnes, Nigeria Fogo and Wakida. You know, so the expertise of different directors, yeah, and Sibu film Talago Shedil Dereja Bait. So, and there's a lot we're going to do in that area. So I just want to tell this too. Like in Tataninde Kedegen if you
All right, many thanks, Logojo. Is that when it comes to there is someone here also on Facebook that said Muslim P Gore is saying I want to sponsor this creator. So at least you see people are coming up. Support. They always say support is a lamb guide. So you can reach out. That is also it's on Facebook. So all these comments you can go and again reply to them in case of any queries. Is that okay? With that, many thanks, by the way, for giving us that time and the tickets, of course, to speak to us. And surely we hope next time we keep in touch and we continue, of course, with this. And basically, thank you so much. We do appreciate.
No problem, Rita. I appreciate you guys for Juba Echo for hosting me and try to share a few of my knowledge. And hopefully, we're believing that sky will be the limit. So I'm just praying, God should help us so at least we can achieve the dreams and the plan that we have set ahead of us, so at least can help the industry to grow up in South Sudan. So a lot of people asking me when to come, and I keep telling them that I'm preparing myself, I just I don't want to go like that, but when I come to South Sudan, that know that something different is going to take place. That's what I'm trying to say, to tell people that the moment I will be coming down home there, that's going to be something different, So I'm still building my capacity, my skills, taking it to the next level. And hopefully I keep also telling people that let people keep praying for me a lot. I need your prayers a lot so I can be able to, find some, resources that help other people that are really willing to come down and study, So that thing also need God's help. And with the prayer of people, I believe that, nothing is impossible. So I'm just urging people, to pray and pray a lot, really, because for me to reach where I am today, it was through prayers. So I encourage a lot of people to pray and to support. Let's join hands together and support, this industry. And tomorrow, people will recognize South Sudan, South Sudan has already been recognized in a basketball, and there are two things that South Sudan need to be recognized. Film industry and then music industry need to be recognized worldwide as the basketball, So let's just hope for the best, and hopefully, like I said, sky's the limit.
Logojo is, of course, Logojo right there is a digital creator, an actor, cinematography, and more of course, you may follow him up and you get all the details right there. In case of any strong view or comment, you can leave it in the comment section or just simply text in the WhatsApp studio number. From me to you, have a blessed day. We meet up till next week. And of course, the weekend, enjoy it responsibly. They say do not drink and drive, and alcohol consumption is not for the persons below the age of 10. From me to you, have a blessed day. I am Rita Ilwa. Keep watching Juba Echo TV, information for empowerment.
I'm Rita Ilwa, and I'll be taking you through towards this special segment. It's always Juba Echo to get your latest update on social media.